You know what developers love? An email that just says, "It's broken," with zero context. Now, as a professional, I've been on both sides of this. I have filed thousands of bug reports, and I've triaged even more. And I can tell you right now, the difference between a bug that gets fixed efficiently and one that feels like death by 1,000 cuts has a lot more to do with how well it's reported than how critical the bug actually is. So today, I'm going to teach you how to report bugs like a professional. And this is going to cover the basics that everyone should be doing to some of the more advanced techniques that will make other professionals respect you. And everyone wants respect. Do you really want to be that user whose requests prompt eye rolling and whose tickets get assigned to the person who draws the short straw? Because if you hang out with support professionals long enough, you'll hear terms like ID10T and PEBKAC, which stands for problem exists between keyboard and chair. And these are used to describe people who are either clueless or unhelpful. But let's set you up so you're not that person. And these tips will work regardless of whether you're sending an email or you're filing a formal ticket in a system like Jira or GitHub. So let's start with level 1, the fundamentals. And whether you're technical or not, everyone should do these things. And it all starts with the title. The title is the first thing that anyone sees, and it should be descriptive enough that someone can understand the issue without opening it. Think of a good book title or an article headline, not clickbait. A bad title is app crashed. A better title is app crashes when uploading large files on iOS. And then next you should state the environment and the task you were performing. At minimum, this means what version of the software you're using, what operating system or browser you're using, and where in the application you were when the problem happened. I can't count how many times I've seen developers go on a wild goose chase trying to figure out why a feature doesn't work on mobile, only to discover that the issue was specific to Android version 11 running on Chrome. Please tell us that up front. And when you get to where in the application it happened, be as specific as possible and include both the expected and the actual behavior. Now, why? Because some issues are user errors. A user might misunderstand how a feature is supposed to work. And by stating what is expected, like the submit button should save my data, and then what actually happened, like a loading spinner appeared and then never went away, you give the person receiving the ticket more context. And if you're providing the expected versus actual behavior, it helps the person reviewing the report save a lot of time. And then finally, keep it to 1 bug per report. If you found 5 bugs today, that's great, but unless they're all in the same spot on the same task, you should file 5 separate reports. This makes it much easier for managers to assign the bugs to their teams, and when unrelated issues are bundled together, it makes triage, assignment, and fixing much harder, because the ticket will need to stay open until all of them are complete, and that really messes up the support team's reporting and metrics. Next, we have level 2, and this is where we start separating the casual, non-technical users from the more tech-savvy users. And the big difference at this level is research. That means before filing a bug report, you should search for existing issues. Duplicates are a huge waste of everyone's time, and they scatter the information across multiple reports. So if you find an existing open issue, add your details there instead. Now, why wasn't this in level 1? Because in my experience, most people either won't do it or they just don't have the time for it. But then the most important thing you can add to the bug report is clear steps to reproduce the issue. This is sort of like writing a recipe. Here's what it might look like. First, log in as a standard user, not an admin. Second, open the profile settings. Third, click on Change Photo. Fourth, select a PNG file larger than 5 megabits. 5, click Upload. Then you should bundle this with the expected versus actual output. I expected the image to load successfully and update the profile photo. However, I got an error message, invalid file type. Do you notice what we did there? Numbered steps, specific details. We also included information that might seem obvious, but could matter, like whether we're logged in as an admin or not. If a developer can't reproduce the bug, they can't fix it. Extra time spent here usually means getting your issues fixed faster. And then in addition to detailed steps, you do get bonus points for attaching screenshots or screen recordings that demonstrate the issue. A tool I recommend for doing recordings is Loom. Oh, and one additional pro tip. Anytime that you see an error message, attach the full text. This means copy and paste any error messages in text into the ticket, not just in the screenshots, because text is searchable and images are not. And then finally, we have level 3. And this is where you can use your tech knowledge to write some solid gold bug reports. First, include any relevant logs. This can include logs stored on your file system, operating system event logs, and browser console logs. Again, screenshot or record the issue in real time and copy any log output into the report for easier searching. And in particular, browser console errors and network errors can really help developers pinpoint where to look. And then next, consider that many logs will include time and date information. This can help developers track down issues that might be intermittent or related to outages. If the logs don't include time and date information, add them to the ticket. The system was throwing errors on Tuesday, June 8th at 6:07 p.m. Now, if you're a developer filing reports for other developers, you might also have access to some of the source code. And if you do, this is a chance to achieve the absolute gold standard. If you can provide a minimal code sample that reproduces the bug, or even better, a failing unit test, you're basically giving the support team the answer key, and they will thank you for it. Now, before I wrap things up, let's take a moment and talk about soft skills. Support professionals are people. They didn't personally attack you by shipping the bug. You want them to fix your bug and provide good support. And that's really hard to do if you're using aggressive languages or threats. Keep the communications professional. And this is actually a really good way to use LLMs like ChatGPT. You can get the benefit of writing a scathing report and then ask the AI to remove the combative tone and make it more professional. This can give you that sweet feeling of releasing your rage and then submitting a professional and respectful report. Also, follow up quickly and completely when a support professional reaches out. The faster and clearer your response, the quicker you'll get your issue resolved. However, ease up on reaching out to them. Pinging someone every few hours for a status update just isn't productive. Trust the process. If timing is a factor, then on the first contact, ask them for an estimate and clarify what the typical communication flow looks like. And then finally, most ticketing systems do allow updates. If you find a workaround or you stumble across additional information, add it to the report. So if you follow these recommendations, you will be recognized as a professional that support teams are happy to work with. You may notice them mentioning you when they need good feedback. Your tickets will get prioritized and fixed faster. And that's the benefit of reporting bugs like a pro. Now, I know a lot of people in support who have horror stories. Let me know in the comments what the worst bug report you've ever had to deal with was. We laugh, we cry, we share the trauma. Happy coding.